Welcome on into another edition of Smart Chat. Happy Friday, guys. This video is being done on Friday. And just want to give you my Elimination Chamber predictions, how I see going this card going down. A pit stop to WrestleMania. We have a Buddy Murphy versus Tozawa. And man, just been impressed by Buddy Murphy. This Buddy Murphy tour continues. And he's given, another pay-per-view to, the pay-per-view shot, to kind of shine here. By the way, whatever happened to Cedric Alexander? But he has all the makings to act, and I thought that he would be on the main roster, and it doesn't look like it's going that way. He's kind of running 205 Live. He has all the makings to be in the, on the main roster. Not that 205 Live is a knock, but in the sense of, I think WWE Raw and SmackDown are more mainstream than 205 Live. Nonetheless, going up against Tozawa, a very capable opponent, I just think that the Buddy Murphy train continues for the Australian sensation. Braun Strowman versus Baron Corbin. Now, we get this match again. Again, can we just end this? And Baron Corbin, who everyone hates. I mean, I don't hate him as much as everyone else does. This match is just coming across, right? Based on what Raw has been, what the interaction that we've been seeing last couple of weeks, where this is destined to be, where Baron Corbin just comes in, squashes him, and just goes on his way. However, what I think in the back of my head, Corbin has been embarrassed, lost, being the general manager, the interim tag there, was fired because he did lose to Strowman initially, and then albeit with the help of almost the whole roster. So he has been embarrassed, and now Braun Strowman needs to get his back from Baron Corbin. Baron Corbin needs to get one up on Braun Strowman now, even it up. And this program, my friends, is going to go into WrestleMania, whether you like it or not. Baron Corbin wins with, let's say, a fuckery with the help of assistance of Drew McIntyre. Tag team champions, The Miz and Shane McMahon versus the Usos, besties. There is a story that's going to be told here. Right now, Shane McMahon, Miz are on the best page. They're working best tag team in the world. But there is a story to tell, and that it's the eventual falling apart of this tag team, because this is a tag team for the short term. You're going to see a win out of Shane McMahon and The Miz by maybe some type of kind of Miz doing, or Shane McMahon. Let's say Shane McMahon doing something where kind of cheats to win, and all of a sudden Miz of all people gets upset by this, and it kind of starts to bring in some tension between the two. You know, Miz is saying, we're the best in the world. We're co-besties. We don't need to do that. We're the best in the world. And you see some dissension forming. Leading into WrestleMania, where kind of maybe will culminate. I just see a Miz and Shane McMahon defeating the Usos. Especially kind of what happened to one of the Usos this past week with an altercation with the police. So, yeah, this could be also the Usos' punishment there. Ruby Riot, Ronda Rousey versus Ruby Riot, and I thought, Ruby Riot, you just feel bad for her. It looks like she is being overlooked, and she is definitely deserves it. I think her look is different. She's different. She sticks out. And she delivers in the ring, and she's being overlooked. But Riot's in-ring ability somewhat underrated too. And Rousey, but I know she's not here a long time. She has been putting on some good pay-per-view matches as of late. And I think even though Riot won't win, I think something will be done to make sure Ruby Riot shines. And she shines greatly because she has been overlooked. And especially in this spot, you feel bad for her because everyone is already overlooking Ruby Riot and going on to looking at Rousey versus Becky versus Flair. That's if you believe that Becky will be actually part of this three-way dance. And I do see that Ronda Rousey wins this one, but look for a great match. Look for Ruby Riot to shine. Bobby Lashley and Lio Rush versus Finn Balor. Basically a 2-on-1. Coming out of the Brock Lesnar match, I think it makes a lot of sense for Balor to have a rivalry with Lashley. It just feels like WWE rushed into this a bit. When the first showdown between these two probably could have been next month at a Fastlane. Instead, WWE kind of has to figure out a way for Balor to maybe lose this match, yet keep the rivalry interesting for nearly 2 months, heading into what I expect to be a rematch at Mania. Does that get you excited, folks? Not really me. The fact that this is a handicap match kind of helps that from a storyline perspective. It helps it, but it's also horrible booking that Lashley would need any help from Rush to beat Balor. Bobby Lashley retains the title with cheating help from Mr. Rush. Women's Tag Team Championship, Sasha Banks and Bayley versus Nia Jax and Tamina versus Riot Squad versus the Iconics versus Mandy Rose, God's greatest gift, and Sonya Deville versus Naomi and Carmella. Now, this could go either way, but ultimately the key for me is that I believe a heel tag team will win rather than the Boss and Hug connection. Why? It would certainly be nice for Sasha Banks and Bayley to be the first women's tag team champions. First in quotation marks here. But even better would be for them to win the titles at WrestleMania 35. Feel good moment, face tag team. Been featured many of weeks talking about the tag team titles, winning them. Though this looks like it will be a multi-brand title, there are far more women on Raw than there are on SmackDown right now. And they are basically doing nothing on Raw, considering Rousey's top challengers are coming from SmackDown. It makes more sense for me for Jax and Tamina to get built up as a dominant team over the next 7 weeks than it does for the Riot Squad, let's say, to take the titles. So that's why I'm leaning, with a storyline progressing towards New York. So we're going to go Nia Jax and Tamina win the titles. WWE Elimination Chamber. Daniel Bryan versus AJ Styles versus Randy Orton versus Samoa Joe versus Jeff Hardy versus Kofi Kingston. Wow. Considering what we've seen in the men's version of this match over the past 2 years, there is no reason to believe that this will be anything other than spectacular. But as for handicapping a winner, I think Daniel Bryan remains, to me, the best guess because of how he currently is and because there does not seem to be an obvious babyface to take the title from him. Yes, I know what Kofi Kingston did was spectacular, was great. But they really had to do this, being that they threw him in last minute due to the injury of Mustafa Ali. They kind of had to explain or show why he is worthy to be in this position. Kind of had to make a story real quick, and what way to do it than being in a gauntlet match. Kingston, his underdog run through Tuesday's gauntlet match was fun. It would be quite an upset to see him win the title. Either way, what happens in this match, it will, I think, reveal the path, which way the WWE Championship is headed entering WrestleMania. I'm going to go with Daniel Bryan coming out of Elimination Chamber as your champ. Hope all is well. Look forward to speaking to you guys very, very soon.